Good evening. I'm Margot, and these are some of my favorite things. For books, we have Gone Girl and Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn, The Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris, Boy Parts by Eliza Clark, and Bunny by Mona Awad. I like horror a lot. I like crime novels. True crime makes me really sad, but I like fictional crime a lot. It's very fascinating. I love a psychosexual thriller. My favorite movies are Fire Walk with Me, 1992, directed by David Lynch. Jennifer's Body, 2009, directed by Karin Kasama. The Silence of the Lambs, 1991, directed by Jonathan Demme. I'm so sorry. The Exorcist, 1973, directed by William Friedkin. And because it's fresh on the brain and I was able to pause for train, I was able to recite it to my friend, like frame by frame, frame for frame, several days after I saw it. Nosferatu, 2024. The train is interrupting me. 2024, directed by Robert Eggers. I loved everything about it, and I think an honorable mention for this category will definitely be Crimson Peak, 2015, I believe, directed by Guillermo del Toro. Magnificent, beautiful film. Also went on like an hours long rant about that film and like the costumery, and what the costumes represent within the film. It's very, very, very interesting. My favorite shows are HBO's Sharp Objects from 2018, ABC Family's Pretty Little Liars, which ran from 2010 to 2017. If you don't want to watch the whole thing, but you do want to know about it, I highly recommend Mike's Mike. He is so funny. And he will be mentioned later. We'll come back to him. I believe it's Cartoon Network, perhaps Boomerang. I do not remember. I didn't write down the channels, producers, I guess, of each of these. I just remembered that it's HBO Sharp Objects and ABC Family Pretty Little Liars. I don't know what it is for, don't know what it is for Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Which ran from 1969 to 1970. NBC Hannibal, which ran from 2013 to 2015. And I watched it as it was new and coming out when I was 13 to 15. I'm normal. I'm fine. And then I also don't know what channel this one was on, but Twin Peaks, which ran from 1990 to 1991. My favorite songs are New Invention and From the Gallows by I Don't Know How But They Found Me, Albatross by Fleetwood Mac, Bookends Reprise by Simon and Garfunkel, and Good Luck Babe by Chappell Roan. Chappell Roan has been, I don't understand how Spotify Wrapped works. I don't understand how, if number one, if it's your number one song, how is it not your number one? I mean, now that I'm saying it out loud, it makes sense. She was not my number one artist, but she has been most of the top 5 of my Spotify Wrapped playlist for the last, this is the 3rd year in a row. I remember last year my number one song was Picture You, and the album came out in September and they stopped counting at the end of October, and I listened between then to that song 250 times. I was unwell. And then I believe the year before, My Kink is Karma was my number one song. I could be wrong, but I might have been Naked in Manhattan. I listened to Naked in Manhattan like 100 billion times. Anyway, I listened to Good Luck Babe 412 times. That Spotify counted. I think that's like lowballing it majorly. But what can you do, you know? Anyway, my hold on. Ooh, where did I? Sorry, need to hydrate. My favorite poems are Spring and Fall by Gerard Manley Hopkins, When I Am Dead, My Dearest by Christina Rossetti, The Lady's Yes by Elizabeth Browning, 12 Songs, number 9 by William H. Auden, and The Maiden Without Hands by Anne Sexton. I don't remember. I do remember what The Maiden Without Hands is about, but part of it affected me so deeply that I posted it on my Tumblr. But like overall, I'm like, I don't remember the fine details. I remember the general gist. 12 Songs is so sad. Definitely made me cry the first time I read it and like absorbed what it was about. It was very upsetting. And then working backwards through them, The Lady's Yes opens with her saying like, I might be saying yes to you right now, but I can take it back anytime. And I just really vibe with that. And I recently wrote a 15-page paper on Christina Rossetti and her poetry and how it relates to the Victorian era in which she lived. And one of the poems that stuck out to me the most was When I Am Dead, My Dearest, so that made the favorites list. And I really like Spring and Fall by Gerard Manley Hopkins because it has my name in it. What more could you need? My favorite musicians are Simon and Garfunkel, Ethel Cain, Charlie XCX, Chappell Roan, and Faye Webster. I had an incredible brat summer. I spent it on a trip with my family. It was very lovely. Like what more could you need? Fall in love again and again, etc. My favorite YouTube channels, I'm going to be really meta for a moment. My favorite YouTube channels are Ethel Kane. I had a friend over today and we were, pardon me, we were just hanging out. I don't know. I was like doing stuff, writing. I was writing these lists. I was writing these goddamn lists. So I'm doing this and I just like put this on the TV and my friend is like, I'm so uncomfortable. And I'm like, I don't really care. It's my background noise. I'm not paying attention to it, and neither should you, but also I am kind of locked into it. Because I listened to Ethel Kane explain her like paranormal events. Upsetting. I love the Sharp Objects tour. There's one in particular that's like shaped like an eye. It's like kind of shaped like this. It's got like spikes coming off of it. I think it's like functions like an awl where it like pokes holes and things. I don't remember. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about Ethel Kane. Anyway, my second favorite YouTube channel is Bernadette Banner and her book. How could I not show you? I have her freaking book. I got this last year for Christmas, and it's been really nice and helpful. I've been watching her on YouTube for probably 6 years. I feel like it was like when I started college that I started watching her channel, and then around the time when we all could not go outside, I was like, making your own clothes can't be that hard. And I was right. It like really is not that hard. Sorry. It's not that difficult and it's very rewarding. Sorry. Oh, sorry. My third favorite YouTube channel is Eleanor Neal. She does true crime. I dip my toes into her channel every once in a while, and I'll like binge watch the videos, and then like not again for a while. And right now I'm really sad. I just watched her video yesterday where she like announced that she's going on a break for her mental health. She does this frequently. I've been a fan of her channel for a long time, and I really applaud her for it. Although, I mean, normally it's because she's having a breakdown, so I feel quite bad. I'm like, take care of yourself. I love you. We'll all be here when you get back. Especially because I take her channel not necessarily in small doses, but like not all at once. So I'm like, I'm totally fine with working on the full backlog of your videos if you need to take a break, because I also need to take breaks. I totally understand. Next favorite is the Broski Report. I love you, Brittany Broski. Hey, I'm gonna say this. Oh my god, train confirmation. Confirmation from the angel guides. I love you, Brittany Broski. Confirmation from the angel guides. Anyway. The next favorite is The Bald and the Beautiful. I've been watching since I was 14. I don't have anything else to say about that. My favorite cartoons are Gravity Falls, made by Alex Hirsch. Courage the Cowardly Dog, and I don't know who created it. I don't know who the creator was. I did not look that up. I really meant to. Oops. Sorry. But I know that it was on Cartoon Network, and I watched it when I was a kid, and it really made me who I am. And Scooby-Doo would be on this list, except it's on like the top shows of all time list, so can't be in two places at once. Although, anyway, the next two are Kiki's Delivery Service and Spirited Away by Hayao Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli, or Ghibli, however you'd like to say it. I don't care. And the final one is Opal by Jack Stover. Because I was like, I looked up at my friend earlier and I was like, is stop motion animation? And they were like, well, the final word of that phrase is stop motion animation. So I would say so. So I included Opal. My favorite artists are J.C. Leyendecker, Roberto Ferri, Nicola Samori, Vincent van Gogh, and Keith Haring. I love 80s pop art. I love the 80s. It's so fascinating. Such an interesting time in history. I love the 80s. I'm trying to pick my words very wisely right now. I'll say nothing. I have a lot of things. They're all over there. A journal and a lipstick case that are the same cherry blossom print by Van Gogh. I also have a print of this skeleton smoking a cigarette. And what else do I have? My favorite paintings of his were the ones that he just did of like the streets that he was looking at, because I feel like it's very rare to like have an artist's fleshed out world like that, you know? Like, it's so interesting that you can see what he saw from the windows of the, I don't want to call it an institution, but the place, the institution he was in. I love it. I love Vincent van Gogh. Nicola Samori and Roberto Ferri do, well, Samori does more like portraits that are like burnt, and it's like, I believe it's mixed media. And Roberto Ferri makes art that is like neo Baroque. I am really butchering that. I don't know necessarily what they do. I know that I look at their art and it makes me feel emotions, and I really like it. And my phone background right now is a J.C. Leyendecker print, and I believe the other phone background that I made at the same time is also Leyendecker. I'm obsessed with like the art of the 1920s, the vibe of the 1920s. From the 2nd to the 22nd of January, I'm going to be taking a semester college course for 20 month days. No, that's not even the school days. Anyway, it's gonna be about American history between the Civil War and the Second World War. And I'm very, very excited. I'm so excited to learn about history. Oh my god. Especially the 1920s and the 1930s. Anywho. Sorry. My favorite musical instruments are the bass guitar, There's one sitting right next to me. The piano. I don't have access to one anymore. I miss playing piano. The clarinet. Played clarinet for like 8 years. Love it. Cello, I never learned how to play that. And the Moog Mother 32 semi-modular Eurorack analog synthesizer. My favorite perfumes are Female Christ by 1969, Cringe Alert, sorry, Sinner perfume by KVD, Not a Perfume by Juliet Has a Gun, Karma and Death and Decay by Lush. My favorite classical music pieces are Rhapsody in Blue by George Gershwin, Danse Macabre by Camille Saint-Saëns, I think that's how you say it, don't know, not an expert, Clarinet Concerto in A Major by Leopold Vlach, Nocturnes Opus 9 No. 1 in B flat minor by Frédéric Chopin. I did spell that right, okay. Comptine de notre été l'après-midi by Jan Tiersen. Things I had to read for school. Favorite category. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I read both of those before I had to because I was so excited about it, and then I loved them, so I was very happy. Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I think that was when I was like, I need to read horror all the time. That needs to be my genre because I'm rocking with this. Everybody else is like, and I'm like, give me more, make it crazier, make it worse. And the next two I did in college, actually for the same class, actually last semester. And the first one is Red Harvest by Dashiell Hammett, and that entered the public domain, I guess today. Who knew? I couldn't find it last semester when I needed to read it. I was like, I don't want to buy it. But now anyone can buy it, can have it for free. Anyway, the final one in that category is Long Day's Journey into Night by Eugene O'Neill. Incredible play, horrific play. And that will take us into my favorite stage plays, which are Next to Normal. It's a musical. It's upsetting. Long Day's Journey into Night, approximately 3 hours long. Deeply upsetting. Ragtime, musical. Phantom of the Opera, musical. Love. Based on gothic horror novel. Oh, maybe I should read that in French. I'm trying to make my French better, and so I'm doing that by like reading things in French. So if I can find a copy of Phantom of the Opera in French, I might make it happen, you know? Anyway, the final one on this part of the list is Stephen King's The Shining, also approximately 3 hours long. I believe there were 2 intermissions. It was intense. It was intense. It was frightening. It was intense and it was frightening. And that stage play I saw before I watched Stanley Kubrick's film. And I believe I read the book before, or this was the order. I saw the play, I read the book, I watched the Stanley Kubrick film. I was viscerally disgusted by what I saw in that movie. You call yourself The Shining? You dare call yourself Stephen King's The Shining? Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. It's very different. It's not the same thing. That's a hill I will die on. Beautiful movie. Beautiful. Incredible acting. Not The Shining. Anyway, favorite albums are Preacher's Daughter by Ethel Cain, Speaking in Tongues by Talking Heads, The Battle at Garden's Gate by Greta Van Fleet, Hounds of Love by Kate Bush, and The Life and Times of a Paperclip by The Garden. I've been listening to The Garden since I was like 13. I just like remember myself in high school, like there's like a visceral memory that I have of like being 16 in the back of my math class, like I listened to The Garden, none of you would understand. And like, true, they put like dogs barking in their music. Girl, like, not everyone needs to get that. It's okay. Anyway, this video has been a very long time in the making. I've wanted to do this for like 10 years. I think I said earlier with my friend. I think that's what we established. I'm very excited to be here. I'm very excited to do more. Please let me know. Please let me know what you want to see next. Hopefully in the next video I'll be able to talk louder, but everybody in my house, train for confirmation, guys. Claim in the chat. My parents are sleeping, so we are candle lit. We are inside voices. We're slaying. We are living. Anyway, yikes. Anyway, I have school tomorrow. We'll see if I make anything else. Once again, let me know what you want to see, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you sleep well, because it's the middle of the night for me, and I want to sleep well. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.